Rich People Problems. An excerpt by Kwan. Bettina Ortiz Mena was not accustomed to waiting. A former Miss Venezuela and Miss Universe runner-up, of course. The exceedingly bronze strawberry blonde was these days the wife of Miami auto part tycoon Herman Ortiz Mena. And at every restaurant she chose to grace with her presence, she was always greeted with reverence and whisked to the exact table she desired. Today, she wanted the corner table on the terrace at Sip Sip, her favorite lunch spot on Harbor Island. She wanted to sit on one of the comfy orange canvas director's chair and stared at the gently lapping turquoise water while eating her kale Caesar salad. But there was a large noisy group taking up their entire terrace, and they didn't seem in much hurry to leave. Bettina fumed as she glared at the tourists happily savoring their lunch in the sun. Look how tacky they were! The women overly tanned, wrinkled and soggy. None of them properly lifted or Botoxed. She felt like walking up to their table and handing out her dermatologist's business cards. And the men were even worse. All dressed in all rumpled shirts and shorts, wearing those cheap straws hats sold at the trinket shop on Dunmore Street. Why did such people have to come here? The 3.5-mile long paradise with the pristine pink sand beaches was one of the best kept secrets of the Caribbean. A haven for the very rich filled with quaint little wood houses painted in shades of sherbet, charming boutiques, chic oceanfront mansions turned into inns, and 5-star restaurants to rival St. Bart's. Tourists should have to take a style exam before being allowed to set foot on the island. Feeling that she had been patient long enough, Bettina stormed into the kitchen. The fridge on her crochet Pucci kaftan top shaking furiously as she made a beeline for the woman with a shock of pixie-cut blonde hair manning the main stove. Julie, honey, what's the dealio? I've waited more than 15 minutes for my table. Bettina sighed to the owner of the restaurant. Sorry, Bettina. It's been one of those days. The party of 12 on the terrace showed up first just before you did. Julie replied as she handed off a bowl of spicy conch chili to waiting server. But the terrace is your prime spot. Why on earth did you let those tourists take up all the space? Well, that tourist in the red fishing cup is the Duke of Glencora. His party just boated over from Windermere. That's his royal Heisman, you see, moored off the coast. Isn't it the most handsome sailboat you've ever seen? I'm not impressed with big boats, Bettina huffled, although secretly she was rather impressed by people with big titles. From the kitchen window, she surveyed the party assembled on the terrace with new eyes. These British types were such strange breed. Sure, they had their Savile Row suits and their heirloom tiaras, but when they traveled, they looked so painfully frumpy. It was only then that Bettina noticed 3 tan, well-built men in fitted white t-shirts and black Kevlar pants sitting at the adjacent table. The guys weren't eating but sat watchfully, sipping glasses of seltzer water. I assume that's the Duke's security detail. They couldn't be more obvious. Don't they know that we're all billionaires here in Brilland? And this isn't how we roll, Bettina tatted. Actually, those bodyguards belong to Duke's special guest. They did a whole sweep of the restaurant before the party started. They even searched my walk-in freezer. See the Chinese? See the Chinese fellow seated at the end of the table. Bettina squinted through her dire ecstasy sunglasses at the portly. Balding, 70-something Asian man dressed in a nondescript white short-sleeved gold shirt and the gray trousers. Oh, I didn't even notice him. Am I supposed to know who is he? That's Alfred Shang, Julie said in a hushed tone. Bettina giggled. He looks like their chauffeur. Doesn't he look like the guy that used to drive Jane Wyman around in Falcon Crest? Julie was trying to focus on searing a cut of tuna to perfection. Shook her head, tight-lipped smile. From what I hear, that chauffeur is the most powerful man in Asia. Huh? What's his name again?